Hello, welcome to a tag video. I figure it's a good time to do a tag video. This topic may have been brought up before, but I figured there's a few new, quite a few new YouTube members out there, so I will tag them and hear their answer, and hopefully many people will participate in this tag. And this is, as the title say, top 5 favorite storylines. For me, to be in my top 5 favorite storylines, it also include the arts, because to me this medium, I can't separate the arts from the stories. For a lot of people, I believe art is secondary. So, you know, and that's understandable. I just love to hear what people think about what their favorite story is. And when I sit down and trying to put together this list, many things fell out of the top 5, and I'm just going to give you a few examples of what didn't make the list. As big of a fan of Neil Adams as I am, his run on Green Lantern and Green Arrows didn't make the cut, because to me the art is beautiful, but the story was not so great that I revisit the book to read the story. I revisited those books many times to look at the arts. He's run on Strange Adventures with Deadman, which I love. I love Deadman, but once again, I didn't think the story was all that great. It was good, but it's not great. I love the arts. I adore the arts in those books because it showcases the young Neil Adams, and he's fantastic. But that didn't make the cut either. Once again, Neil Adams run with the Kree and the Crow War, the Avengers books. That storyline is pretty good until the end. The last 2 issues was very clunky. It was one of those great stories that have a lot of potential, and then it ends poorly. But it has great art by Neil Adams, Sal Buscema, and John, the brothers. Awesome art. Nothing to complain about, but my goodness, the last 2 issues of that storyline was bad, in my opinion. And then you're looking at, say, the Wolverine miniseries. As big of a Wolverine fan as I am, I only read those 4 books twice, and I have little desire to ever read them again. So I liked it, but it's not a must read. I would not recommend that. Well, I would, but it's not in my top 5. Okay, it's hard to narrow to this top 5. But and then it's same thing with Watchmen. Watchmen I enjoy, but you know, for me, I think a lot of people put Watchmen up there in the top 5 of all time. It just did not make my list of top 5, even though I do enjoy the Watchmen storyline. Now, for my top 5, not in any particular order, okay? It's hard for me to say this is the best of all time. But here is a 5 story that I revisited time and time and time again, many, many times over the years. And I enjoyed it each time. Each time I go back, I look at the book, I stare at the arts, I read the dialogue, because it's just a good story. The Dark Phoenix Saga, X-Men 130 to 137. I don't even try to count how many times I reread those books, but fantastic, fun read. It's what makes a great story is it's a story of love, sacrifice, friendships, many things that would be part of any good stories. It's a lot more than just a superhero story defeating good and evil, but like I said, it's a story about friendship, love, sacrifice, all of that. Great stories. And then Dark Knight, the Frank Miller run. I absolutely love his new take on Superman and Batman. It's fresh, it's new, it's daring, and the art. I loved his evolution, but what he did with the Dark Knight was really awesome for me. I mean, I enjoy Ronin. Um, so I love Ronin when it came out, but the story was kind of tough to digest. But when he did the Dark Knight and I see his transformation from Ronin into the Dark Knight, it just wow me. I love that storyline. So that's two right there. Number three would be Silver Surfer Origin, Silver Surfer #1. I understand the controversy, that Jack Kirby never wanted the Silver Surfer to have an origin. He wanted the Silver Surfer to have a mysterious past. But for me, when I read, the first time I read that years ago in the reprint Fireside book, his origin, I love it. It's a great story. I love it. I still love it today. I have reread Silver Surfer 1, his origin, so many times, and I love it. Absolutely. And it has gorgeous John Buscema art, the ultimate Silver Surfer artist, in my opinion. Number 4, the intro of Beta Ray Bill, that whole storyline in Thor 337, 338. I absolutely adore Walt Simonson writing and drawing in Beta Ray Bill introduction. His entire intro, great battle with Thor, able to pick up the hammer, and then subsequently Odin make a hammer of his to give to Beta Ray Bill himself. So awesome. Just one of my favorite all-time off the rack purchase, and I reread that so many times. To round out the top 5, finally we have Neil Adams. His run on the X-Men is my favorite run of Neil Adams in any books. But the first 3 issues, the 56, 57, 58, are my all-time favorite because of the introduction of Havoc. It's just fantastic. In fact, I pull out those issues to reread before I make this video. 56, 57, and 58. The intro of the Living Monolith and Havoc. This entire run is fantastic. The art, the writing, the story, it's beyond the 3 issue. You're talking the Sentinel story that weave into issue 57, then continue in 59, and then you continue with the Savage Land, Magneto. It's just incredible. Okay, it's but I don't want to pick the entire run, but specific storyline. So out of the run from issue 56 to 63, I picked the first 3 issue as the best story. And that's it. For tag, I will tag some fairly new member. You have DrVonChilla. I will tag DrVonChilla. I will tag Nate, the comic preacher, and then I will tag John, SandmanLoganfive, and I will let them know that they got tagged for this top 5 favorite storylines of all time. And let's hear what other people will say in their top 5. I love to hear that. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Bye bye.